Hi, hello, good evening everyone. Welcome to our YouTube channel. Today we have an interesting and important topic to discuss. That is the grading system followed in State Board of Technical Education and Training, Telangana. Now to save the time, I have given the complete information on the board. Today's date is 12th July 2024 and it is Friday. Now let's see the complete details of the grading system. Before we get into the deep details about the grading system, I wish to let you know that what are the different type of grading systems available. We have basically three types of grading systems. One is absolute grading system, second one is relative grading system, and the third one is hybrid grading system. Now in the SBTET, we are following hybrid grading system. So what is the exact meaning of absolute grading system and what is the exact meaning of relative grading system and how we will be going to derive the hybrid grading system with the help of absolute and relative, that we will see in detail with an example also, right? Now if you look at the table that what I have drawn on the board, just observe this part. As you all aware little that there are 8 grades available: A plus A, B plus B, C plus C, D, E. There are 8 grades available and the respective grade point assigned to each grade is from 10 to 0, that is 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 0. Which means A plus is 10, A is 9, B plus is 8, B is 7, C plus is 6, C is 5, D is 4 and E is 0. Now if you look at the absolute grading system, what is the meaning of absolute? The exact value of marks is taken into consideration for deriving this absolute grading system. That means it is a standardized grading system that will never change. The range of marks given in the absolute grading system will never change. It will not take into the consideration of the toughness of the question paper. It is irrespective whether the student is securing less marks or greater marks. It doesn't matter anything. It just assigns the grade to the candidate depending upon the marks secured by the candidate as per the range is given here. So like that, we have 2 types of categories here also. That means there are separate grade ranges for theory subjects and there are separate grade ranges for practical subjects, which also includes the drawing subject, because drawing is also considered as a practical subject at SBTET level, right? So if you look at this one, for A plus grade point assigned is 10, and if it is a theory subject, the minimum marks should be secured by the candidate to obtain or to secure or to get the A plus grade is greater than or equal to 90% of the marks. Actually these numbers are for the 100 marks, that is for subject total, not for end. It is a combination of mid 1, mid 2, internal and end. So if you put together, you will get a subject total out of 100 marks. So these ranges are derived for the 100 marks, not for 40 marks. So if the candidate wishes to get A plus grade, he or she must get more than or equal to 90% of the marks in that subject, if it is a theory subject. And of course for A plus, for practical also range is same, that is 90 greater than or equal to 90%. Whereas for A, the grade point assigned is 9 and the grade range for theory subjects is greater than or equal to 80% and less than 90%. Similarly for practical and drawing subjects, the range of A grade is nothing but greater than or equal to 82.5% to less than 90%. And similarly, we have up to D grade. Look at up to D grade. For D, what is the grade point assigned? 4. And for it, if it is a theory subject, the range of grade is greater than or equal to 35% to less than 40%. And if it is a practical or a drawing subject, the range of marks to be secured by the candidate is greater than or equal to 50% to less than 55. Now, after D grade, you consider all these as from A plus to D. All these are considered as pass categories. All these are pass grades. But this E is E is nothing but fail category. So for D grade, it is greater than or equal to 35% to less than 40. That means if the candidate secures less than 35, it is taken as E. That means the candidate is failed. So that is the reason range is nothing but less than 35. Similarly here, for D grade, in case of practical, the range of marks is greater than or equal to 50% to less than 55. That means if the candidate secures less than 50 marks, he can be treated as a failed candidate. That means the range of marks for E grade is less than 50% in case of practical, and these two are put together in which category? Absolute grading system. So this is a standardized grading system which will never change and which will not take into consideration about the other criteria, that is nothing but the toughness of the question paper, right? Why I am stressing continuously about the toughness of the question paper is, for example, if the question paper is very easy, obviously majority of the candidates or majority of the students will definitely get score good marks. Whereas the other hand, if the question paper is very tough, assume that the question paper is set as very question paper setter has set it as a very tough question paper. In that case, it is very tough for even a topper to get good marks. At that point of time, I think none of the candidates will get A plus, even the topper also. Suppose if the topper marks itself is 80 out of 100, then no one will get A plus. So it is completely a clear injustice to the students. So therefore, following the absolute grading system may not be a suitable grading system, or it is not a justifiable grading system from the perspective of the student. The reason is question paper is set by the board level, SBTET. That means the board level. So therefore, it is our primary responsibility to see that the question paper pattern and the number of questions given and the weightage of it definitely should match with the blueprint of the question paper, so that the question paper should have all types of questions which may be of inclusive of tough questions, medium questions as well as easy questions. So if that is not maintained properly, then there is a very possibility that the question paper may be very tough. In that case, even the topper marks also may not be more than 80 marks. So therefore, at that point of time, if you use absolute grading system, it is definitely not a justifiable factor with respect to the result analysis. Therefore, the second one is introduced. Because of the drawback of the absolute grading system, we are actually introduced to the second one, that is called relative grading system. What is called relative? Absolute means what? Standardized. Relative means what? You are going to compare with the other person. Who is that other person? Who is called what we call topper. In the case of relative grading system, there is some different kind of analysis to be done. For that reason, to derive the range of marks for each grade in the relative grading system, I have taken one simple example. I think most of the students and the staff are aware of that. We are using P codes, and where the paper code is unique one, and the result processing as well as grading system is actually depending upon the P code only, not even the subject code, because under one P code they may have different subject codes, because the same subject may be common to various branches. So in that case, unique one is only P code. So therefore, we are going to deal with the grading system taking P code is only as a reference. So I have taken a small example for your understanding. I think these marks and all these entries, whatever the parameters I have taken, all are fictitious, just only for assumption, to let you understand that how the grading is assigned, I mean how the grading is derived in respect of relative system. I am just showing it with the fictitious data. So let us say that P code is 12,001, subject code is HU201, it is a general subject, and the subject name is Advanced English, and the total number of candidates appeared is 80. Right. Now keep this data aside. Now as I told you, there are 8 grades. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Even the E is also taken as 1 grade. Maybe it is a fail condition status, but still it is a 1 grade. So therefore, the total number of grades is equal to 8. Therefore, what does it say? If you say that there are 1,000 candidates appeared in a P code all over the state, across the state. Now we should assign 8 grades to these 1,000 candidates. How do we assign? That means these 1,000 candidates are to be partitioned into 8 parts. These 8 parts definitely maybe or may not be equal. Right? When you want to assign the 8 grades to a particular bunch of people, that is 1,000 number of people, we should divide them into 8 parts. Once again I am telling you, when I say it is a part, it doesn't mean that all the parts are same. They may be equal or may not be equal, unequal or equal parts. Right? That means the total number of candidates are to be divided into 8 parts. Then first part is given as A plus, second part is given as A, third part is given as B plus, fifth part is given as B, fifth part is given as C plus, sixth part is given as C, seventh part is given as D, and left over all the 8th part are given as E grade. Right? That means if you want to divide the entire candidates marks, I mean number of candidates into 8 parts, what is the simple logic? Divide by 8. That means first part is nothing but 1/8 of 1,000. Second part is nothing but 1/8 of 1,000. That means 2/8 of 1,000. Third part is 3/8 of 1,000. Fourth part is 4/8 of 1,000. Fifth part is 5/8 of 1,000. Sixth part is 6/8 of 1,000. Seventh part is 7/8 of 1,000. And finally, last part is nothing but 8/8 of 1,000. That means all the remaining cases. So instead of 1,000, here I have taken just only 80. What is the reason? Because we are dividing by 8. So that it is easy for me to get the figure integer part of that division. I hope you understand. There are 8 grades available. That means the number of candidates up in the P code have to be divided into 8 parts. Each part is given 1 grade. A plus A, B plus B, C plus C, D and E. So to divide that into 8 parts, we have to divide by 1/8, 2/8, 3/8, 4/8, 5/8, 6/8, 7/8 and 8/8. The same thing I am doing here. That means to proceed the system, first we should find it out what is the 1/8 part of the number of candidates, 8th part of the number of candidates and so on, 7/8 of the number of candidates, and leftover is 8/8. So therefore, for simple and easy understanding and easy division, I have taken that the total number of candidates appeared is only 80. So 80 candidates appeared in this subject whose bearing P code is 12,001, subject code is HU201, and the subject name is Advanced English. Right? Now, these 80 candidates marks I have. These 80 candidates marks I have for 100. Because total subject total maximum total is 100. 20 is mid 1, 20 is mid 2, internal is 20, external is, end is 40. So put together 20 plus 20 plus 20 plus 40 is equal to 100. So I have marks of these 80 candidates for 100, for a maximum of 100. Let's assume that at least one candidate out of 80 candidates may get out of out value, out of out marks. So therefore, what is the procedure actually? Take the marks of 80 candidates the marks of subject total of 80 candidates, that is out of maximum 100, sort them into descending order. Sort them into descending order, right? That means the topper will come on top, and slowly the candidate's marks reduces. It goes on well. So in that same fashion, I have written. Assume that topper marks is equal to 100. Here I am not saying that topper means not for end. I am telling he is the person who got maximum marks. So assume that one candidate secured out of house, that is 100 out of 100. Mid 1 is 20, mid 2 is 20, internal is 20, external is also 40. He secured all maximum values. So therefore, the subject total sum up to 100. And the second candidate 99, third candidate 98, and so on. 10th candidate 91, like this. 20th candidate 77, 30th candidate 64, and so on. Finally, the last candidate, who is nothing but a first person from the bottom. He or she secured only 18 marks. So in the subject total marks of the 80 candidates and sorted into descending order, and I have written like this. Now, as I told you, I have a standardized range of marks for each and every grade in case of absolute grading system. Now, my aim is to derive the range of marks for relative grading system. Here I have written, because to save the time, but I will explain that how I have written this. And after that, by comparing absolute and relative, we have derived hybrid also. That also I will show you. I have written everything here also, but I will show you how we are going to achieve that. So I have taken subject total marks of 80 candidates and sorted into descending order like this. Now you go for the first one. To derive the range of marks for A plus grade in case of relative grading system, what I have to do? Minimum of 1 by 8. Minimum of 1 by 8. That means, what is 1 by 8 means? What is 1 by 8 here actually? 1 means, here 1 by 8 means 80 by 8. Here 1 by 8 means 80 by 8 into 2. That means 2 by 8. So it is 3 into 80. 3 by 8. 4 by 8 into 80. 5 by 8 into 80. 6 by 8 into 80. 7 by 8 into 80. Right? So the first one is 80. 1/8 of the total candidates. Total candidates, what I have here 80. So therefore 8 is 10. 8 is 10. That means, what is telling? We should take the marks of the minimum of one candidate. It can be here 10th candidate. Since I have sorted in descending order, combine 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1 by 8 of 80 means 10. That means 10th candidate in descending order. Right? 91 I came here. Minimum of 1. What is means 1 for actually here is range of marks. What is the value? 91. Because it's the least of these 10 candidates marks. 91. You stop there. Now that means the candidate secured 91 marks. This is a lower range. That is the meaning of minimum. Or minimum range for A plus. What is maximum? 100. That means the candidate who secured more than or equal to 91 marks out of 100, or simply you can say the candidate who secured more than or equal to 91%, because these are the marks for 100. Who secured more than or equal to 91% will be assigned A plus. That's what I have written here. That means the range of marks for A plus grade in grading system is greater than or equal to 91%. Now you compare these two. What hybrid grading system actually? Minimum of absolute and relative. Minimum of absolute and relative. That means once you get the range of marks for both absolute and relative, now you compare these two. Because grade is same, whereas the ranges are different. Now you compare these two ranges for plus. Minimum, absolute and relative, that you have to take. So that means in these two, for A plus, in case of absolute, what is the range of mass? Greater than or equal to 90. For relative, for A plus, it is greater than or equal to 91. What is the meaning? If you consider absolute grading system, it says that you can give the A plus grade to the candidates who secured more than or equal to 90% of marks. If you consider relative grading system, it says that you can assign A plus grade to the candidates who secured more than or equal to 91%. Here it is only 90, but here it is 91. If you take this one, we are ignoring 90%. That means we are ignoring the candidates who secured 90, because it is starting from 91 only. So out of these two, which one is benefit to the student? Absolute is benefit, but not the relative. If you take what is class actually, to the candidates who secured 90 marks out of 100 will be a class. So therefore, out of these two, we should take the minimum. That is nothing but hybrid. So hybrid grading system is nothing but the minimum of absolute grading system and minimum of and relative grading system. So out of these two, for A plus, what is benefit to the student? Minimum means 90. So therefore, the final hybrid grading system range of marks for A plus is greater than or equal to 90%. A plus is over. Now come to A. In case of A, how to derive of marks for relative? It is 2 of 80. Total candidates is 80 na? 2 by 8 of 80. So this one, 2 by 8 of 80, that means how much? 8 by 8 is 10, 10 into 2, 20. That means 20th candidate. Minimum of 20th candidate is the range of A plus. A. So 20th candidate secured how many marks? 77. That means that is the minimum range of marks for A. Minimum range of marks for A. That means if you want to assign A grade to any candidate, in case of relative, he or she should secure more than or equal to 77 marks. But more than or equal to 77 means 100? No, because from 91 onwards you are giving A plus. From 91 onwards you are giving A plus. That means the range of A is not definite, not indefinite. It is definite only. 77. What is actually 89 only, because from 91 onwards you are assigning A plus. That means for A, lower range is 77, upper range is less than 91. Less than 91 means here it is actually 89, because 90 is not there. No one secured 90. I just example I have taken it. Not so actually in reality. So for A, lower range is 77, it is less than 91, that is equal to 89. So what is the range I have written? Greater than or equal to 77 to less than 91. Less than 91. 91 I am not considering. Less than 91 means actually how much? 89 only. So that is greater than or equal to 77 to less than 91. Now you compare these two. It is the absolute grading system for A. It is relative grading system for A. But since theory subject, don't see practical. Don't look at practical. Only compare with theory. So for this greater than 80, greater than or equal to 80, less than 90 in case of absolute. But here it is only greater than or equal to 77. That is very, very important. That means if you consider absolute system, you can assign A to the candidates if they secure more than or equal to 80 marks, whereas here only more than or equal to 77 marks. So out of these two, which one is benefit? 77 is benefit, because 77 is minimum value. So in case of this second category, second grade, absolute is having high value, relative is having low value. Therefore, what is hybrid grading system? Minimum of absolute and relative. Therefore, we are taking relative as final. Whereas in case of plus, absolute is final, because absolute is low, relative is high. So therefore, which one is having lower value, which one is having higher value? It definitely varies. Sometimes absolute may be equal to hybrid, sometimes relative may be equal to hybrid, right? Similarly, for B place, what is B place? It is actually 3 candidate. The candidate is how much? 3 by 8 means what? Actually 3 by 8 into 80, 30. 30th candidate secured how many marks? 64. So what is the minimum range of B place? 64. Greater than or equal to 64. What is the maximum range? It is not 100. It is only 76. What is the reason? Because from 77 onwards, we are assigning A. So what is our range? Greater than or equal to 64. And what is the upper range? Less than 77. Don't write 76. Less than 77. It should match like this. This diagonal. Look at this diagonal. So we are starting from 77 now. So we should start from less than 77. That is the reason. So greater than or equal to 64, less than 77. Whereas in case of absolute, it is greater than or equal to 70, less than 80. So if we compare these two, which one is minimum? Relative is minimum. So relative is final for B plus also. Now coming to B. What is B here actually? For B, it is 4 by 8 candidate. 4 by 8 into 80, 40. So the candidate secured how many marks? 56. So the range is greater than or equal to 56. What is the upper range? Not again 100. It is only 63 because from 64 onwards we are assigning B place. So the lower range is greater than or equal to 56. Upper range is less than 64. Greater than or equal to 56, less than 64. That is for B. Now for C, it is minimum 5 by 8. So it is 5 into 80 by 80, that is 50th candidate. 50th candidate secured 49 marks. And so therefore, for C place, the range is 49. And what is the upper range? From 56 onwards, B is entering. So upper range is less than 56. So for C place, what is the range? Greater than or equal to 49 and less than 56. Similarly, for C, it is 6 by 8 candidate. 6 by 8 candidate means how much? 60th candidate. 60th candidate secured 41. So the range of C is greater than or equal to 41. And upper range is nothing but less than 49. Because from 49 onwards, C place is entering. So for C, lower range is greater than or equal to 41. And upper range is less than 49. And for finally, D grade, last but one. For D grade, it is 70th candidate. It is 70th candidate. So therefore, 70th candidate secured 31. That means lower range for D is greater than or equal to 31 and upper range is less than 41. I think here I didn't explain. For C place, which one is minimum? Sorry, for B place, which one is minimum? Here it is 60, here it is 56. So relative is minimum. In case of C place, here it is 50, here it is 49. So relative is minimum. In case of C, here it is 40, here it is only 41. That means here reverse is there. Here 40 means absolute is minimum, relative is maximum. So therefore I am not taking relative as final. I am taking absolute as final. In case of A place and in case of C, absolute is minimum. That is you have to observe. And finally for D, it is greater than or equal to 35, whereas it is greater than or equal to 31. So here it is again relative is low value. So relative grading is final. And finally, from 31 onwards, D is entering. 31 everything is nothing but E grade. That means fail. So therefore, less than 31%. From 31 we are counting D na. So less than 31 is nothing but E. So less than 31% is E grade. E grade. Whereas in case of it is less than 35. So again this is here also relative is having low value. So relative grading is final. So less than 31 is a final grading system. Now these are the final grading system that we have developed depending upon the absolute value as well as relative values. Okay. Now these things are the official and final grades available and assigned to the candidates and which will be given in the results. Now, what are the pass conditions to be satisfied for any candidate to declare he or she as a passed candidate, right? So I have written here actually, there are two conditions to be satisfied. The most important thing that everyone must understand that when you say that the candidate is passed in that subject or is failed in that subject, most of the students and most of the candidates are actually turning to SBTET stating that For example, one candidate wrote physics subject, other candidate, his friend is having a chemistry subject. Both of them secured same marks. He secured, for example, 35 marks out of 100 in physics. His friend also secured in chemistry 35 out of 100. His friend is passed in chemistry with the 35 marks, but this fellow failed in physics with the same 35 marks. Now he will immediately come to SBTT and say that, sir, my friend secured 35 in chemistry, but he passed, and I also secured same marks, 35 marks in the physics, but you declared me as a fail, so it is wrong. Show me how. In that case, we should also understand that what are the criteria to be followed to declare a candidate is passed or failed. So there are two conditions. Two conditions must be satisfied. If at least one is failed, one of the condition failed means the candidate is failed. So here, see here, what are the two conditions? End marks shall be, what is end marks here actually? Board is conducting end examination for 40 marks. So for 40 marks, this first condition is for 40 marks. How many marks the candidate should secure out of 40 in end examination? Generally, in the old schemes, we are aware that if 35% of the marks is secured by the candidate in theory subjects, he can be, we can say that he is passed. Here is the same thing. I am writing 35% only, but 35% is fixed on the maximum marks. 35% of maximum. 35% of maximum. What is the maximum here actually? You are conducting the question paper examination for 40 marks. So 35% of 40 marks is 14 marks. 35% of 40 marks is 14 marks. So with respect to earlier criteria, if we say that if the candidate secured 14 marks in the end examination, first criteria is fulfilled. But here it is not so. It is not 35% and 40. We are not taking on maximum marks, because if you take on maximum marks is always same. 40 will never change. That means irrespective of the question paper toughness, everyone should get 14 marks to get passed, or to fulfill one criteria. But that is not the case. Sometimes what happens in my 5 years tenure at SBTT, I have seen in some cases that where marks is equal to 23 only out of 40. I think in one of the architecture subject, and even sometimes I saw in CCP also. So marks itself 23 out of 40. In that scenario, how remaining people will get 14 out of 40? It is out and out not possible. So therefore, what we are following here, percentage is same. Absolutely, the candidate should secure 35% on something, but that something is not static, it is dynamic. What is dynamic here? End marks shall be 35% of topper marks. End marks shall be 35% of topper marks. What is topper marks here? Out of 40, how many marks secured all out the state? Highest marks. Sometimes what happens, any one candidate may get 40 out of 40. Sometimes topper marks itself 39, sometimes maybe 36, sometimes maybe 30. That means this criteria will change. For one subject, you may get 14 as a topper marks. For another subject, topper marks may be 30 only. In that scenario, the minimum marks to secured in end examination will vary from one subject to another subject. It cannot be same. So the first condition to be satisfied is end marks should be 35% of topper marks. Suppose topper marks, you don't know what is the topper marks. You got 14 in the end examination. Straight away you can say you fulfill one criteria. What is the reason? What is 14 there actually? 35% of 40. What is the maximum marks? 40 only. If topper marks is also 40, you should get 14 only. You can see 35% of 14, 40 is 14. 14 means if you secure 14, it means you already crossed maximum value. Already you achieved maximum value of 35%. So therefore, you can simply say you fulfill one criteria. But if you are not securing 14 marks in the end examination, then you should check with this condition whether the top marks is 40 or less than 40. But if you are by your luck, if the maximum marks, top marks is less than 40, then you may have a chance that you can also fulfill the first criteria if you get still less than 14 marks in the end examination. So the first criteria should be satisfied is end marks should be, minimum marks to secure in end exam should be 35%, more than or equal to 35% of the top marks, where the top marks may be 40, 35, 20, whatever it is. So maximum is 40, it can decrease or it can go to 40. It can decrease or it can go to 40. So this always varies. And another important thing is, what is the second condition to be satisfied? For the second condition, we should see this one. So first condition, actually in the grading system, we also provide top marks in the table. When we release our results, we also give top marks also, like this. For each subject, assume that it is one subject, not grade actually. For each subject, we will give the top marks also. So that looking at the top marks, you can see what are the minimum marks you have to secure in the examination. Excuse me. And second criteria is subject total marks should be greater than or equal to D hybrid minimum value. D grade hybrid minimum value. What is the meaning of this? As I told in the beginning of the session, all these percentage of marks are actually out of 100. That means the second condition should be satisfied is subject total is out of 100 actually. So out of 100, the candidate should get the subject total marks minimum, that is greater than or equal to D hybrid grade minimum value. What is D grade actually here? This is D grade. Absolute, relative, absolute. What is the range of D grade is actually greater than or equal to 31% and less than 40%. That means what are the minimum marks to be secured? 31 marks. If the candidate is secured less than 31 marks, he is coming into which category? E category. That's what the meaning of second condition. Every candidate must possess more than or equal to 31 marks in the end examination in the subject total, that is overall 100 marks, which constitutes which includes mid 1, mid 2, internal, end marks. So the subject total should be less than or should be greater than or equal to D grade hybrid minimum value, that is a lower range value. If the candidate fulfills these two criteria or conditions, then only we can say that the candidate is passed. I will give you small case studies. So in case studies, case 1, mid 1 is 10, mid 2 is 0, internal is 5, end is 14. Okay, 14. Right. Now subject total, S total. What is the S total value? 10 plus 0, 10, 10 plus 5, 15, 15 plus 14, 29 only. Now see, what is the first criteria? End marks should be greater than or equal to 35% of top marks. Actually, he secured 14 in the end examination, so no need to check, because 14 is nothing but 35% of 40. Even if the top marks is 40 also, one criteria is already fulfilled. But what is the next criteria? D minimum is how much actually? He should get 31 marks, but the subject total for 100 is only 29. This kind of situation arises when mid 1, mid 2 internal marks are having, mid 1, mid 2 in internal are having less marks. The other criteria I will give. Now the candidate is fail in this case all. So mid 1 is 20, mid 2 is 20, internal is 20, end is 13. Assume that that implies subject total how much? 60, 73. Assume Upper marks 40. Mid is 20, mid is 20, internal is 20, end is 13, subject total is 73, top marks is 40. What is the first rule? We should get 35% of top marks in end examination. Top marks is 40, 35% of 40 is 14. So he must get 14 marks in end examination, but he secured only 13. What is second criteria? He should get more than or equal to 31 marks in end exam, total exam, subject total. Subject total is 70. It is far greater than 31. But what is the problem? Second condition he satisfied, but the first condition he failed. In the first case, that candidate fulfilled the first condition, but in the second condition. Here, he fulfilled the second condition, but failed to fulfill the first condition. Fail. So, we can simply say that this kind of grading system is hypothetical. And to the possible extent, as a whole, maybe, for example, for this candidate is very bad luck. In the same class, as I told you, one person got 0, not 0, for example 10, mid 2 also 10, internal also, I will tell you, end is 14, so 20, not 10, 7, 8, 15 plus 29, 15 plus 14, 29, so internal may be 3. So subject total is equal to 32. Top marks as usual 40. So in case 1, mid 1 is 20, mid 2 is 20, internal is 20, end is 13, subject total is 73, top marks is 40. In case 2, mid 1 is 7, mid 2 is 8, internal is 3, end is 14, subject total is 32, top marks is 40. Same class, same batch, both are actually classmates, but different cases. In the first case, candidate is failed. Here the candidate is failed. Here the candidate is pass. See, look at the change. The candidate who secured 73 marks is declared as failed, but the candidate who secured 30 marks is declared as pass. What is the reason? The first candidate failed to fulfill the first condition, whereas the second candidate fulfilled both the conditions. Okay? Even though he secures 20 out of 20 in mid 1, 20 out of 20 mid 2, internal 20 out of 20 internal, but he is unable to secure 14 in the end examination. Why is 14 actually? Because top marks is 40. So he should get 30% of 40, that is nothing but 14. So therefore, even though the subject total is 73 and fulfilled the second criteria, but he failed to fulfill the first criteria. Whereas in second case, maybe he is having less marks in the mid 1, mid 2 internal, but he secured 14 marks in end examination, and as a whole also he secured better marks of the D grade minimum. That is, D grade minimum is 31, but he secured 32. So it means simply, even with the 32 marks also, the candidate is actually passed. So this is a different scenario that we can observe in case of hybrid grading system. But as a whole, this grading system is definitely a benefit grading system to the students, right? And compared to the earlier scheme, that is up to C16S, if you compare the credit based choice system, CBCS system, that is started from the C18, now after that C21, now we are entering into C24. The overall percentage of the candidates passing out from the diploma courses has been drastically increased. Earlier we used to have only 50% or 60% maximum, but with the CBCS and hybrid grading system, every year we are getting around on an average 90 to 95% of the candidates passing out from the diploma courses and going for higher education and even to employment also. So that is the beauty of this grading system. I hope you clearly understood this grading system. Now, another important thing that most of the students and staff are having a doubt that how the supplementary results are processed. What is the logic behind assigning the gradings to the supplementary subjects? That is very important, because most of the students are turning up to the SBTT, especially when we are giving day-wise results. They are rushing to the SBTT and approaching with their grievances that how to understand the grading given in the results. So I just wanted to put a word to every one of you that there is no grading system for the supplementary subjects or supplementary results. I mean, there is no grading means it doesn't mean that we are giving results without grading. No. I mean to say that for supplementary results, there is no grading. The reason is, as I told you, to get the related grading system, we should have this complete data. That means number of candidates appeared in the subject, etc. etc. So for to have 1 by 8, 2 by 8, 3 by 8 and etc. all these things, minimum number of candidates to appear in the subject should be more than 8. Otherwise, what is 1 by 8 of 7? If you like, suppose assume that in one subject 7 candidates appeared all over the state. Maybe maybe when you can say English or whatever it is, general subject. Generally, less number of people candidates will fail in English. So let us assume that all over the state only 7 candidates appeared in the supplementary English subject. If you do this as a 7 out of instead of 80, what is the rate of 80? 1 by 80 logically it is 0. We will not take any float value. So 1 of 7 is nothing. We cannot say. Suppose if the number of candidates appeared is 8, then there is a choice. 1/8 of 8 is 1. Only one candidate. First candidate will get A plus. Remaining all will get A. So to derive marks for the all the grades in case of relative grading system, the number of candidates appeared should be definitely a huge number. That is the first reason that why we are not giving grades for the supplementary. The second one is, once a candidate has regular examination, he passes in some subjects, he fails in some subjects. The same subjects he will write in supplementary, right? To assess that supplementary results, we should again compare his performance only with his batch. With his batch only, not with the batch he sat and wrote in the supplementary examinations. No. So therefore, what I am to say is, for supplementary results, there is no separate grading system. Whatever the grading system that is available for his regular examination, the same thing will be taken and compared and will be given as a result. For example, one candidate appeared first semester examination in October-November 2018. Suppose he passed all the subjects, 9 subjects, he failed in one subject, maybe let us say English. Then he appeared in 2019 supplementary, again failed because he was absent. Assume he again appeared in 2020. Now he secured some 14 marks in the end examination, right? Now how to give the result to that particular candidate? Now the system will take these 14 marks from the input that what we are giving in the online. That 14 marks is taken and will check. The system will check when this fellow wrote this physics English exam as a regular candidate, where it is actually October-November 2018. Supplementary event is what actually October-November 2020. Assume. So when he wrote that English subject in supplementary October-November 2020, the system will take the 14 marks what he secured in that event and will go to October-November 2018, because that was a regular event for him for this subject. It will mid 1, mid 2, internal, along with the system. What is the grading system for English of that event? Okay, now it will take mid 1, mid 2, internal, and this 14 will add, will give subject total. Okay, we'll take top marks of the same regular event. We'll compare whether it is 40 or not. If it is 40, he should get 14 marks. Like that, this complete result analysis is done based on the regular grading system only. He may write the same subject for n number of times. His eligibility gets exhausted. Till that time, always the system will go back to regular event and will check and give the result. So, this context or in this at this juncture, I want to say that whenever you appear for the supplementary examination and you secured some marks, for example, by mistake, not by mistake, a result has been released, it was displayed as failed. To know why it is failed, or sometimes you got passed also, but to know how you passed, what is your job to know to do? Go to consult report in the SBT portal. Enter your scheme and pin and captcha and see the consult report. For example, let us say looking for the first semester theory, supplementary subject. Some subject, maybe English, physics, maths, very good. So in the consult report, look at the first semester data. For each subject, there is one event when you wrote, and before that there is one column called type. What we call type of exam. SR. What is R stands for regular, S stands for supplementary. When you use a regular examination, I think out of 10 at least you pass one subject. Maybe it's a practical. At least by your some one staff member with mercy, at least he passed in his laboratory maybe. So out of 10 subject you will definitely pass in one subject. So for that subject, you see it will be R only. What is the event? Check the event where you have written the regular examination. Now what you will do, after looking at the event of that first semester in the consult report, you go to diploma results event wise. You go to diploma results event wise and you search your data of that event. Whatever you have found regular event in the consult report, let's say for that event, you should see the data. So go to diploma results event wise and see that event data. In that event data, there is one tab in the top, that left side tab, one tab is here, grade info. Click on that button. You will get one pop-up window with a table with 10 subjects. For each subject, you will be having range of marks in the hybrid grading system from A plus to B. From A plus to B. Then look at the D grade. What is the minimum range? Look at the D grade low range value. 1. That's the second condition, whether you passed or not, you fulfilled or not. Look at your 100 marks total in the supplementary results. If that 100 marks subject total in the supplementary results is greater than or equal to B grade minimum of the regular event, then one criteria is fulfilled. In the same table, at the last corner cell, you will have top marks. If it is 40 by mistake or by accidentally, if it is 40, then you have to get 15 marks in the end examination of the supplementary results. Now you can compare whether you have satisfied these two conditions or not. If you have satisfied these two conditions, automatically you will be declared as pass. If any one of these conditions gets failed, then automatically you will be declared as fail. So it's very simple. For the supplementary results, there is no grading separately. Only the regular grading system will be taken and compared and will be processed. So you need to check your passed criteria conditions, okay, with respect to regular grading system only, but not with the supplementary grading systems. Maybe while looking at the supplementary results, you can also see the tab grade information. If you click that tab, you will get the random value, junk value. That is not the actual grade information. What is the reason? Because for supplementary, there is no grading system. So you should see only regular grading system in that event, compare and check whether you have satisfied these two conditions or not. Then only you will come to know whether you really passed or not. So if you can do this exercise by yourself or with the help of your staff, even the faculty also, if they can explain this kind of situation to the students, I think most of the students will not turn up to SBTET also. So I sincerely request and request all of you that please kindly inform or educate the students in this aspect so that they will not turn up to the SBTT, which will save their time as well as even the officials of the SBTT time also. Okay. So with this, I just wanted to wish you everyone to watch this video till the end and share it to many people so that it will reach to many people. And also, without skipping till the end, please watch the video. Mere watching doesn't carry anything. Please, again, as I told you earlier, please like the video. If you like the video, the YouTube will understand that there is the content, good content to let everyone to watch. So therefore, it will reach to many people. That also helps others to understand the concept, and also it will support to the it will add to the supporting system to the channel. So I wish everyone to like the video, comment, and if you have any doubt, please comment in the comment box, share it to many people. And if you have not subscribed to my channel till date, please try to subscribe and press the bell icon so that as and when I upload the video, you will come to know the notification, so that you will not miss the updates or such kind of videos what I upload in the channel. So I wish you everyone good luck. Thank you for watching this video. Good night and Shubh Ratri.